Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there. Wow, listen to that music. You think something important was going to happen besides us talking. That's right. Welcome back, kids. Well, I'm calling it episode 2, but this is like the first official Capes and Lunatics International show. I am Phil. Joining me down there is Marvel Snap aficionado, Batman's #1 fan. It is Ray.
How you going, Phil? Hey, Dave. I'm very much girt by sea. I'm sure Dave is as well. Glad to be here. International waters.
Yes.
You know, let's keep things kosher, right? We don't want the water rats coming in.
And yes, that's right. And then over there, yeah, that's right. The man.
I'm doing the funky kangaroo.
Oh man,
Stevie Sapolsky and Tom Brevoort's worst nightmare. It is Signal
I was
Doom.
going to say #1 fan. Go Brevoort. Yeah. I just want to say shout out to all the Aussies out there, everyone who's competed, and shout out to Raygun with the funky kangaroo.
Raygun.
One of the worst entrants ever in Olympic Games, but hey, she gave it a shot. She missed.
No, that's Dave. That's what they say. Like I've been reading the comments.
Loser.
She gave it a shot. That is like the bottom of the barrel comment you make to someone when they have failed on all accounts.
It's like a qualifier got into the US Open, faced Andre Agassi, and he's destroyed it 6-love, 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 triple bagel. She didn't win a point. That was what happened.
Yeah, sorry, Phil. Sorry, Dave. Phil, if you don't know, she exactly what Dave said. Judges her 3 matches, I think against the US, Lithuania, and I can't remember the third one. It might have been France. 18-0, 18-0, 18-0. She scored 0 points from the judges.
I'm telling you, you could have taken this chick down to Bankstown train station in Australia, and the girls down there would have destroyed her breaking for about $100 a pop. She could not break dance any better than me, frankly.
Well, I've seen some posts as well, Dave. You could go to Pitt Street Mall, which is a shopping centre in Sydney. You can go to Pitt Street Mall, pick up a busker there that will be breakdancing 100% better. Seriously, it's
the Olympic
it was woeful.
For Australia said, she was the best female breakdancer here in Australia. Bullshit.
She said that. She said that
corruption of the highest order. Corruption of the highest order.
She said that absolutely po-faced. I couldn't believe it. She was at this committee, Phil. This Olympic committee.
By the way, she's a left-wing academic, which makes her automatically suspect in my eyes. And and I tell you what, she got a PhD, Phil, in breakdancing, my friend. She got a PhD.
Phil, and this is
wow.
I've got to say, this is what happens when you write about something a lot more than you actually do something. You know, you can become a genius in your field if you write about it and write theses and pages on it. It doesn't translate when you do it, put it into practice.
It's
I'm
two
sorry.
Different things. You could be like, I'm no academic, but you could be a massive what's
the
word?
No.
Well, I say that, but I have a degree and have studied extensively, so I could have been. But my point is,
could have been at the Olympics, Dave. Yep,
could have been a
Olympics. No, but seriously, you could be what's it called, like an expert commentator on social trends and stuff, like anthropologist or something, and you could know the whole history of like hip hop and breakdancing. You could break it all down, have all the knowledge in the world. Doesn't mean you're going to be able to actually get out there and do that shit.
Yeah. No, like any country, it's like you could be a commentator on whatever sport, but that don't mean you can play the sport.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, look, also to be fair as well, I don't want to be completely blinded. She did win the Oceania competition.
The fix was in.
Won.
The fix was in. The fix was in, man. The fix was in.
She won a competition to get considered for the Olympics. So
I don't think she would.
I want to see the other competitors.
In Hornsby, Australia. If they ran it in the like the RSL of Hornsby, Australia for like 2 hours, I reckon she would have come dead last. I mean, the one thing she did do was give us the funky kangaroo, which I do.
Oh,
enjoy.
that was so cringeworthy.
So
my gosh!
People were taking shots at her for wearing her Olympic tracksuit, but I actually liked that she wore an Olympic tracksuit.
Oh, look, and to be fair as well, like and she kind of fired back at them as well, saying, "Oh, just wait till you see what the B-boys are wearing, the Aussie ones, and they're wearing the tracksuits as well." It doesn't
One
it
thing
doesn't take away.
Straight away was play the victim card. I heard the victim card was being played very early. Professional victim. She's an academic. I hope she loses a job. I hope she gets fired.
And Phil,
she disgraced the country.
Phil, in a funny twist of fate, she actually is an academic and lectures at the place I work at. So I've actually come across her a couple of times.
Is she a clown?
So this is a proud moment for the university.
It's so funny.
Ray and
No, Phil. The other funny thing is, I don't know if you read. Well, I don't have much following of the Olympics, but there was another Australian Olympian, a hockey player. I think his name's Tom Craig. Picked up for trying to buy cocaine and sent home.
Hey, in my
mind,
hang on. Less bad.
Yeah, but I'm not kidding. He also is from Macquarie University as well. So we've got 2 for 2. Rachel Gunn, who is now
trying to get some blow for the hockey team, and just have a good night on the town. They'd finished their event. He was just out there having a good time in France. Paris, France.
Okay.
He just needed something for that nose. He was hungry. But maybe Ray Gunn would have been served
booger sugar. Is that what you're saying? He needed that booger sugar.
Maybe Ray Gunn should have done a couple of lines and got out there, and maybe that would have improved the performance.
She needed something. Because she couldn't.
Someone said it was the equivalent of a 5-year-old saying, "Mum, check this out," and then
exactly
on the floor for about 10 minutes.
Exactly. Well, actually, if anything, it's inspired a lot of young girls to aim high and compete at the Olympics as a breakdancer. I mean, it seems achievable.
We're going to have a whole lot of shit entrants now. No, she was a disgrace, and I don't think I'm too far off the mark in saying potentially expelling her from the country, stateless.
I mean,
definitely from the
it was embarrassing.
I mean, I don't follow the Olympics too much, but I know I did see like some of our athletes up here. The one girl got in trouble for twerking or something, like after her competition or something. Yeah. And I don't know. And then another one was, I don't know if she was saying, I don't know, she was having sex with everyone in the Olympic Village or so. Yeah. So,
was that the Romanian?
It might have. Maybe.
She was just open for business at the Olympics.
Sounds like it. Yeah. Sounds like it.
She has an OnlyFans account as well.
Yes. Money to be made, man. Money to be made. Yeah.
Like, I mean, and actually,
I mean, it gives new meaning to uneven parallel bars.
I think from memory, Phil, she was a swimmer, and actually and this is true. I'm not like making this up. And then she didn't make the finals or whatever. She failed in her heat. And then shortly after on Instagram, she announced her retirement. I'm retiring from the Olympics. And then I think, the doors were open season in the village. I think that was.
She said, "Yeah, I'm out."
Oh, she's a swimmer, so she can hold her breath for a long time. Okay.
Sure can. But in my mind, all of these crimes are far less than what Ray Gunn did. Like, hey, some chick was open for business after the events. Some guy wanted to score some blow. I mean, so far, I'm not hearing anything you don't hear on a Friday night. And then in comes Ray Gunn with her incomprehensible routine.
With the funky kangaroo. I mean, Phil, and look, she's brought Australia back 40 years because now everyone again will think that we all ride around in kangaroos. By bringing that to the forefront.
That's okay, man. I don't care. Who cares? We've got to have some sort of a mascot. Let it be a kangaroo.
I thought only half of it did that. I thought the other ones rode on the backs of koalas or whatever.
Yeah, drop bears.
Drop bears, yeah.
Drop bears.
Yep, it's great stuff.
Sorry, Phil. Dave and I coming in hot.
This might have to be how we open every episode. It's just like who pissed off Dave this week.
Yeah.
Well, there's always somebody, let me tell you. And for once it wasn't Brevoort. He's been real quiet this week.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
but
you've been
it
putting
wasn't
finger on the pulse there, Dave.
Weren't we talking
Yeah.
about something the other day? Wasn't he like doubling down on those QR codes or whatever?
Oh yeah, he can go fuck off as well. Like, yeah, he was like, he actually admitted, he goes, yeah, people still really bent out of shape about them. I'm like, yeah, you might have copped a few tweets from me, Brevoort. But like the thing about him is he'll make these moves that are so obviously stupid, and then he gets pushback, and he at first he does like, oh, we're distancing ourselves, and then later on it's like, yeah, people seem to really react negatively. Yeah, they did. Like when you sent Frank Castle to Fantasyland, we all hate it, you know.
Yeah,
But
That's
he's
right.
proof that at Marvel he just can do anything he wants, any mistake, and he keeps his job. It's bizarre.
That's right. Bring back Spider-Man's marriage, damn it.
yeah.
Please do
Right.
something. Do something with your life, Brevoort.
Hey, Phil, can I ask? Is it are you getting your comics on time? Like, because we've got another delay again, so I haven't.
I mean, so far I've been getting them on time.
Good.
We've been
Okay,
getting them
maybe
on
just an
time.
international thing, but yeah, they're coming in late.
You need to sail those waters, Ray.
Yeah, I guess I do.
What those pirate waters? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the seven seas.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah,
Sail the seas, man, and you find stuff comes in on time. But sometimes I wonder if a break is not a good thing from some of the stuff I read. Actually, I have a review.
Yep.
I've been reading over the last 2 days Joshua Williamson's Superman run.
Oh yeah.
It's not great, but it's not terrible. I will say this: I think the artwork in the first trade is lackluster, but the actual story is quite good.
Who's the artist? You know,
I will tell you. I've actually got.
Are they well known or probably not?
Well, Richard knew who they were.
Okay.
I have you read it, Phil? While I bring this up,
I have read it. I mean, I get your impressions. Yeah, it's not bad. It's decent,
but it's not great, right?
I mean,
it doesn't have to be great. It just
it's serviceable. And again, I just wonder if, like, I know, especially at a certain point, Joshua Williamson was writing like half their lines. I don't know if it's just a quick case that he was writing so much stuff, and then
he's doing G.I. Joe as well.
Oh yeah, he was writing stuff.
The artist is Jamal Campbell.
Oh yeah.
Don't know him. No.
It's okay. Like it's. Look,
okay.
I'm finding the story. I've almost finished the first trade. Look, it's quite readable. I'm really trying to make an effort to get back into mainline Superman because I read so much of the Bronze Age stuff. And I do like Superman as a character. So I'm always looking for that run, which is like a 6.5 to 7 that I can just read happily. And this might be it. It's quite readable, you know? He did something else. Oh, that Far Sector Lantern that Richard hates. But Richard hates that because it's Far Sector Lantern. Richard's always having a bit of a cry about that, shedding some tears somewhere in the world about that. You know, I tease him so much about Hal Jordan. Like, because Richard, my co-host on Signal, he hates Jon Stewart with a passion. And I do agree. Jon Stewart's very boring. But I'll send Richard pictures of Jon Stewart action figures and the Jon Stewart omnibus. I go, Rich, you want me to pick this one up for you? And it's a collection of like the best stories of Jon Stewart. It's so awesome.
Oh, so you have a co-host who loves Hal Jordan too? Okay.
I of course love Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
Richard loves Hal Jordan. It's
they're big Green Lantern fans, aren't they? Yeah. He's pretty. Green Lantern is pretty cool. He's pretty cool. I have to say that.
Yeah, he's all right. I mean, I don't mind it either.
I mean, did you read the last issue of Green Lantern or it was an Absolute Power tie-in? Amanda Waller captured Hal Jordan. Her and Killer Shark are standing there interrogating him. Hal Jordan headbutts a shark.
Oh,
is that an Absolute Power?
Yeah. Well, it's a tie-in. It's the last Green Lantern issue. Yeah, Hal Jordan headbutts Killer
I'll check it
Shark.
Out because I am reading Absolute Power.
Mark Waid. Mark Waid.
Yeah. So Hal Jordan is back, is he? Like.
Oh yeah.
It was okay. But he'd been missing for quite a while, right? Like a substantial amount.
There was like a year where there was like no Green Lantern book, and then like Jeremy Adams, friend of the show, Jeremy Adams is writing the Green Lantern, the main Green Lantern book right now.
I don't mind it. I must admit I haven't read the most recent stuff, but I've at times read quite a lot of Green Lantern at times over the years, like including Kyle Rayner, a lot of Jeff Johns. Even some Robert Venditti did some good stuff with Zod, actually. And
cool.
Green Lantern.
Nice.
Oh, and gentlemen, if you have any Absolute Power questions, forward them to me. We're going to be talking to Mark Waid in a few weeks. So
really? Was he hard to get?
We've talked to him before. It depends on his schedule because I hit him up right before Comic-Con and he's like, "Oh, get a hold of me after Comic-Con." I was like, "Okay." Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it just depends on his schedule.
Oh, that's a big scalp.
That's a big
Yeah.
guest. I
Yeah.
have liked a lot of Mark Waid stuff over the years. Like he's got a lot of good comics like behind him. Like in fairness, the thing with Mark Waid is like he maybe doesn't get enough credit for some of the stuff like his Flash run. It's fabulous.
The Flash, the Flash stuff would have
Flash,
been
I like
Flash
that,
stuff without Mark Waid. He created the Speed Force. I mean, he
Mm.
created Bart Allen. He created he put so much stuff into that they use
Yeah, like
everywhere.
it's
Live
8
action,
big
all that.
trades. It's 8 big trades. I've got them all, and I've got the omnibus. And I tell you what, his Flash is excellent, and it's not just Flash. He did but if you just rested on his Flash and his Kingdom Come, that would be more than most people ever achieved in their career. But of course, he does so much other stuff. You know?
On the Marvel side, his Captain America.
Yeah. His Daredevil was okay as well.
One word about his Captain America, missable.
Well, which run?
Ray Gunnable.
No, you're right. His classic run is great. His latter day run is less great.
Oh my lord! And well, his first run, man, he had to follow Mark Grunwald, man.
Yeah.
I know. In the footsteps, but you know what? He's a great writer overall. Like you've got to look at these guys overall. I mean, he's irredeemable, for example. Excellent.
Mm.
You know?
And he's not afraid to say it how it is as well. You see that whole thing about Roy Thomas with Wolverine and Deadpool and Wolverine, how he wanted to be the first name. Did you see Mark Waid's response? Yeah.
I very rarely agree with Mark Waid in matters of what he says on Facebook, but he was right on the money that time.
Mm.
He's a bleeding heart liberal, and he thinks he's a hero of the people, which is a bit sickening. But I will say what he said about Roy Thomas was 1,000% right.
I mean, I think everyone agrees, unless you were Roy Thomas or someone in his family. It's like,
or Roy Thomas's agent.
Yeah. Because it's like, what, he was the editor on that first Wolverine story, and he wanted to have the first credit.
You want to have, come on.
It's really poor. It's really.
I don't care who you are. The writer and artist need to get first.
Yeah, absolutely.
The creators.
Most creators would agree with you too. It's not just us saying it. I think most creators believe that as well. So, which is why it's so weird.
Yeah, like, I mean, editors don't. They're not. They know their role. You know, they know to stay in their lane. That is. Their job is to kind of bring things together, keep people in a direction, but like they're not the creators, right?
No, they're just there to like give notes back, like maybe
exactly.
You want to do this, maybe you don't want to do this.
I think it's quite sickening, really, and it's in fairness, Roy Thomas has had a very good career, and he just doesn't need to do that at this point in his life. I mean, he got some financial settlement out of Marvel. Clearly, we'll take the money and shut up. You know.
Because I was going to say, even
did he? Okay.
I was going to say a credit at the end of the movie. Does that get you any money?
Oh. No, he did. He got some money.
Okay.
Apparently, he got a financial.
Well, there you go. I mean, what's
from it? So
that's like, you know, Dave, one of your projects like 20 years ago, you get some stuff for it. Like that's a bonus, right? Good on you. So
which you were involved with very tangentially as well. Yeah.
So here's some money.
I mean, in fairness, you know, two people who deserve money from Wolverine. Chris Claremont and Larry Hama. They did a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, Chris Claremont, of course. Yeah.
Well, like, no, seriously, if you break it down, their contribution, just the two of them to Wolverine, is actually massive. It dwarfs whatever Roy Thomas did.
And just how much time and how many stories those two have just told about the character. Yeah,
exactly. So
it's kind of,
forget about it. Forget about it. Roy Thomas. Like I actually said, I regretted having him on the show. I said that live on CBS.
You had him. You had him.
I had him on the show, and he was a good guest. And he seemed like a good guy. We did about 50 minutes on a timer. His agent had him doing a series of interviews. To be fair, we got a good interview. It was a good one.
Good.
And I just regret this. But sometimes when these guys get old, they can be led by others. You know.
Yeah, true. They probably start speaking stuff that
Sinatra in his last couple of concerts didn't know where he was. You know, it happens to the greats.
Yeah.
You know?
He's 83 years old, so
he probably well, you know, at that age you're probably spouting stuff that you kind of half don't understand what you're doing. Yeah,
my dad today live.
you know what you're spouting. Maybe someone's whispering in your ear.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like remember in Lord of the Rings, that little worm tongue guy in the year of the Rohan. It's reminiscent of that, you know.
Exactly.
He gets all like cold and frosty and all that kind of shit.
But yeah.
But hey, kids, don't let it stop you from checking out the Signal of Doom interview because it was actually good. This is before the controversy. We did actually talk about Wolverine in it, not to the level of detail, like he wasn't making those claims.
You didn't press the right buttons there to get him going.
We spent a little bit of time on it, and we spent a bit of like I had a structure, so we jumped around in the 15 minutes. We covered a lot of stuff. It was a good interview. I was very happy with it, and I had to fight to get it because he's older. His agent kind of just puts him out every now and then for a sequence of interviews. So he was doing like 5 in a row.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was
wow.
good.
I mean, geez, at 83, still doing it. That's good on him. All right.
Yeah. No, I appreciated that he did it. So, if I had him on now, I'd like to go in on the topic because I reckon you could get 10 minutes of him unscripted,
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Sometimes they do like those series of interviews because I just talked to James DeMatteis not too long ago because he was out doing his tour about his Kickstarter, and he's just like, I'm so tired. He's like, I've done so many interviews. He's like, you're like my next to last one. I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
And I feel he does do a lot. And he's such a giving personality in the interview, I find. I think he really he's a great exactly. He's a great guy, and it comes across, and he gives of himself in the interview. You can tell he thinks about his questions. I've had a couple of people I won't mention who just they're so barely engaged, and it's almost a waste of everybody's time.
Well,
but
I mean, like
in general, I've had a lot more good experiences than bad.
Oh yeah.
I mean, for JM, like it's like he's the rock star going on tour, right? So he's got to do all these junkets and stuff. This is all part to kind of drum up his thing. Whereas like Roy Thomas is retired, right, and he's still He's still doing the interviews and all that. So that's
he's
damn stuff. I'm gonna give him love. Yeah.
Nice,
that's his James DeMatteis verse or whatever it's called, isn't it?
The multiverse. Yes.
Yeah, it's cool. Roy Thomas is essentially retired. I think he does a little bit of stuff for Marvel here and there, little bits and pieces.
But no, James,
he's still making money. But he's still making money doing conventions and stuff.
Okay.
So. Yeah, someone like him, he goes to the conventions and he's like signing all this stuff and people, paying for the signature. So he's still bringing in some cash.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay,
but
putting the groundwork.
In terms of like a live creator, he's at 83. I mean, like, come on.
Yeah.
He's not writing the next 100 issues of Captain America or whatever. Yeah, it's a tough business. Like in all fairness, like it is a grind and
But I mean, you've got to, it's part and parcel, I think, of it. I mean, you have to. This is part of the job as well, not only just doing the creating and the creative side, but you've got to, market yourself, and that's that's good for comics. I mean, that's what they do. I mean, especially with podcasting and all that, with so many opportunities out there to kind of advertise yourself. But cons obviously do it as well. So they're just doing the groundwork to drum up their business. But it is a grind.
Ray, I heard that your little Moon Knight's turning up in What If, Oscar Isaac, I believe.
Yeah, that's a big news. So the next, you're right, Dave. The next appearance of the MCU's version of Moon Knight will be in season 3 of What If. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I did say there was a little bit of a rumble in our social media platforms. I'm pretty sure this is the extent of what we'll get from Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight now. This iteration.
I've got a what if Moon Knight has a threesome with Tigra and Marlene? What if? Yeah. What if?
What if Sydney Sweeney was Marlene? Hey, so.
Oh yeah. What if? What if? the what ifs are just flowing.
I tell you, Iwata will be watching. He will be watching.
He will be watching. Yeah. I might kick Iwata out of his little cave and watch myself. There was the speculation on Signal this week. Would Sydney Sweeney as Barbarella be taking the top off in the new movie? I'm very hopeful. Richard was less certain.
Oh yeah, she's
been naked on camera before.
She has. Thank you. I know. Yeah, Phil. Thank you, Phil.
Did she say as well that she said she was on record? She said she'll still do nude scenes.
She said, she's not stopping anytime soon.
Good. Yeah. Well, don't. Yeah, don't. In fact, I encourage more.
I mean, if you're that good looking, when you're young, do it while you're young because you're not going to have those looks forever.
Exactly. I was thinking, what was it? Who's the actress? Because they're doing a remake of is it Red Sonja as well? I thought it was the actress from who played Ghost in Ant-Man and the Wasp. I thought it was her. Someone's
no
got
idea
like the
about this.
gig to do Red Sonja.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was pretty good. I got it mixed up with Sydney Sweeney and Barbarella, but Red Sonja would be pretty cool.
Red Sonja, like I'll say this, Red Sonja is a great character. I have read a lot of Red Sonja in my years of Conan reading, and she is a great character that you could certainly do a good movie on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of actually. Speaking of Roy Thomas, I believe he created her. Actually,
he created her. Wow.
Yeah, so it's I know the history. There's a character called Red Sonja with a Y from Robert E. Howard. Okay, but she's not the Red Sonja she ever with a sword. So Robert E. Howard adapted. I'm sorry, Roy Thomas adapted a lot of Robert E. Howard stuff in the 70s, among which was Red Sonja, and he took the name. And he pretty much did a female Conan and blah, blah, blah. Him and I believe Frank Thorne was the artist. Certainly was the artist who did a lot of it with him. Yeah. So, technically Red Sonja is a...
Roy Thomas
he's at least
creation.
a co-creator. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but...
And was the original Red Sonja by Howard?
Robert E. Howard, yeah.
Yeah, was that kind of like the character, like a Conan-esque?
Not really. No, she's not even in Conan's time. It's an action adventure. Okay. She's a strong female hero. Like
but not a sword wielder or anything like that.
No, that's all Roy Thomas and the artists in the 70s. And in the 70s as well, she became one of the first cosplay things. There was a famous model who I believe may have been either the wife or girlfriend or something of Frank Thorne, and did a lot of Red Sonja cosplaying. She was a really popular cosplayer in the 70s when cosplaying was just first starting.
Okay.
Little history lesson for you kids.
But Dave was close. Red Sonja in the comics, was created by Roy Thomas, but artist Barry Windsor Smith.
That's correct. No, that is correct. But Frank Thorne does a lot of the art after that.
Okay.
So they had a long run. No, you are right. But so Frank Thorne and Roy Thomas did a lot of...
They did the most, the bulk of it, did they? Okay.
Well... Frank, she's good.
There you go.
Frank Thorne did a lot of the
sign her up.
The Red Sonja in the 70s. He introduced like the Charman bikini and all this kind of stuff. So Barry Windsor Smith was
very iconic for her now.
Barry Windsor Smith was heavily involved in Conan for the first couple of years, which is around the time they were doing all this.
What was the who was in the Conan films? Who was she was a really big Bridget something maybe.
Bridget Nielsen. Yeah.
Who did she play? Who did she play? Was that Red Sonja in the Conan films? No.
I think she had a film, didn't she, as Red Sonja, or was that?
Okay, maybe I'm mixing that up. Okay.
No, I think
Bridget Nielsen.
She played one. Someone played like a stand-in for Red Sonja in the second film, but wasn't named that. Then they did an actual Red Sonja film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think she was a different type. She was a character like that, but not.
Yeah, it was like the archetype, but it wasn't. But in Red Sonja, I want to say Arnie's in it to some extent.
Oh, okay.
I think he is.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor. Get to the chopper.
I will tell you, there's actually a fair bit of good Red Sonja comics over the years. Like, certain people have done pretty well with the character.
It seems to be thriving. I mean, she's even had a Black, White, and Blood, series. She's kind of like it's always being reinvented.
And there's a lot of fun stories in like Savage Sword where she teams up with Conan and stuff. Because sadly, what's happened now is two different people own the properties. That's why they don't mingle. See, back in the 70s and 80s, they mingled quite a bit because Marvel did all the comics. But over the years, the people who own Red Sonja are different from the people who own Conan.
Right.
So,
well, that's the thing. Just a few years ago, Marvel got the rights back to Conan, had used them for a while, and I think they let the rights lapse.
And they fucked it up. They totally fucked it up. The only thing they did,
they should just go for Red Sonja now.
The thing they did right was they put out all those great collections. In fact, like they were really good at doing that. They were really bad at the new content. It was really poor. And I would say potentially maybe the Conan estate may have pulled that deal themselves because they've now set up a Titan Comics and have Jim Zub doing it, who was writing Conan, and it's really good. And they're also got the rights to pretty much all the other Howard characters other than Red Sonja.
Wasn't it Jason Aaron? Didn't Jason Aaron?
Yeah, and it was poor. It was poor. It was very poor. Yeah. And Jim Zub did a really good run right at the end.
I like Zub's writing. He's good. Yeah.
If you like Jim Zub's writing, check out his Conan he's doing in Titan Comics. It's excellent.
Okay.
Oh God, like years ago, Charlie and I talked to Jim Zub once. Yeah, he seemed like a really nice guy. Yeah,
You see, yeah, I've reached out to him.
He's Canadian, of course. He's nice.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I reached out to him.
I want to get him on Signal badly.
Yeah. Oh, he's very
years ago, but he was very nice. Yeah.
He's very approachable, Dave. Like, yeah, I reached out to him, and he kindly said like it was for Serpent War. I think it had Conan, it had Moon Knight in there as well.
Yeah.
And he politely said, "Oh, look, it'd be great. I'm happy to come on, but I don't know much about Moon Knight. It was very he was more Conan centric in that story. Sure. But no, he's very, very approachable. Always responded. So yeah, give him a go.
I'm gonna ask him because that would make my day. Things are good. What are we here for, Phil? Again, remind us why we're here.
Oh yes, that's right. We do have some homework here.
That's right. I read it today.
Yeah, two-parter.
It was fun. It was really fun.
From the Peter David Hulk run. Yes, we're going to cover Hulk, Incredible Hulk 395 and 396. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
And I'm proud to say,
look at the covers. Look at the covers. Oh, the cover.
So good.
Yeah, very cool.
Over the last 3 or 4 years, I've steadily been working my way through Peter David's Hulk runs. So when you said this, I actually remembered reading it. And I went back and reread it, and it's kind of like a sequel to his Joe Fixit era in Vegas. He comes back because the guy that he was the
Michael Berenghetti
for had died. Really good stuff.
It was a big thing because Berenghetti was a huge character, right? Towards the Joe Fixit era.
Yeah.
Like he was
that's the other thing when you let writers stay on books for a good long time is like they can call back to stuff they did a few years ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
well, the funny thing about Fixit is it's a lot shorter than the memory is. Like he isn't Joe Fixit for as long as you would think, considering how famous that incarnation is.
Maybe like a year. Maybe like a year.
Probably about a year. And it was great. It was great.
He packed a lot in. That was why it seems like a long thing.
Well, he appeared like a ton of places as Joe Fixit too, like in that Wolverine. Stark and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
I would love to take a couple episodes here and do the whole Joe Fixit run. I love Joe Fixit. That's like my favorite call, Joe Fixit.
I would happily do it.
Very good. Yeah. It was a breath of fresh air, I think. I mean, like just with the Incredible Hulk. But I will say, no, this was great because Dave got to crack up the omnibus for this. It's not released in Epic Collection form. Actually, I do have these in comics, but I can't be bothered trying to find them.
They are on the Marvel Unlimited app too. Yeah,
they are there as well. Yeah, but preferred to read it like in hard copy. It's in the volume 2 of the omnibus of the Peter David run. If anyone wants to check it out, very good.
What are you sitting at now, Ray, in terms of that omnibus collection? If you got the full 5?
Dave. No, not yet. I'm shy one off. So I know you've got them all. I'm just waiting.
What are you on for? Are you?
4? Yeah, I'm just waiting for Amazon to drop their price for volume 5.
Yeah, but that's okay. You've got 4 of them. I keep my fingers on the button constantly for the Maestro collection. I think I should just get it.
Yes. That's a sort of awesome run again, Peter David. Yeah. And it kind of shows that. I mean, this is sorry.
I was going to shout out to Peter David, who I know has been having health issues as well.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. He's a fantastic talent. So hopefully everything works out well for him. But I was just going to say that these 2 issues just really, at the same time, it's kind of very Peter David, but it also shows his range as well. Writing, just going through what I like being reminded of is that whole Rick Jones side story about his mum. Because we all know what happens at the end, but it's just to see it now and she's there, she's very convincing. And there's one bit in these 2 issues which is really kind of dark. She's giving Rick Jones a hug, but she bites her lip so hard it kind of bleeds.
And I didn't see that until this time. So when I read that, because you got to remember, I none of this was all new to me when I was doing my reread. What I read of Joe Fixit was back in the day, but I wasn't reading past that point. So when I read the first time, I didn't see that, and then this time I saw the little bit of blood, which is really well done because you can miss it.
Yeah.
And
but and it's just very subtle.
Is she the one who does she kill Marlowe? Is that her?
Doesn't she?
Yeah, kind of,
Yeah.
sort of, but they kind of resurrect her. But
Oh,
yeah.
The leader brings her, but like, she does. She stabs.
Yeah,
her.
Yeah, 'cause that was very shocking to me as
Yeah.
well, and the way
I've
it
got
was
to-
done,
yeah.
truly
Yeah.
shocking.
I've also got to point out, while we're kind of focused on this particular point, Dale Kearn's art there, like the way he draws the mum,
Fantastic.
like she's like clearly older than them all, and like so, he draws that in her face. You can see it, and it's it's just his artwork is just fantastic.
His artwork in general is just top notch.
Yeah.
He's the kind of guy that could just do covers because he's so good, but his interiors are excellent. Like, is he still working? Is he still alive, or is he? Not
is he still sobered?
Oh,
alive. I mean, is he alive or not?
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, he's alive. Yeah, Dave, did you know about that thing? He was full on drunk at an interview, like on a video, and
Really?
he passed out like midway through.
Really?
Yeah. yeah.
Really?
Oh
yeah. There's a video for
On
it.
a video
I think he was on a video call for some podcast or something, or some show, and he was clearly inebriated. And I think it was like a masterclass or something as well. But he passed out
masterclass
for 20 minutes.
Wow! So he was under the influence.
Hitting hard times.
Wow! I can't imagine anyone I've ever interviewed doing that. That would be as an interviewer, I would find that amusing, but at the same time, I'd be like annoyed because I'm great. Now I have to do this again sometime. You like to, these guys. You love because it's so you got to get everyone lined up. And then when you do it, you're like, great, it's in the bag. I'm done. Whereas in my brain, I'd see this and be thinking, great, we've got to do this at some.
You got to redo it. You got to do another take. Yeah.
So I can't put this out.
But he's a fantastic artist. Though, but that did dent him a little bit, I guess.
Was this recently or was this a long time ago?
I'd say I can't even remember if it was pre-COVID or shortly after COVID.
I mean,
around then, a few years ago.
Okay, the guy likes a few drinks and he got online. It's not the end of the world, but it's funny.
But a fantastic artist. I mean, and I love the hero shots of the Punisher. Which is really cool.
And I got to say, shout out to Peter David, who I know has got on record of saying he can't write the Punisher. He does a very passable Punisher impression.
Yeah,
this is a very generic, serviceable Punisher for a guest arc. He got it right, and I say claps to him because I know it's not a character he felt comfortable with. I saw him. He commented on this himself, actually.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You don't see a lot of Peter David Punisher, so
No.
He's not a fan of the character, but during this time period, Punisher was really big.
Oh, he was red hot. He was red hot.
Oh yeah, he had 3 titles going. Yeah.
The only thing, if you kind of split hairs with it, I thought, it was when Punisher was following them in the ice cream truck, and then the Hulk comes out, Joe Fixit or whatever, and he's green. And the Punisher just seemed like the way Peter David wrote him is like he was super shocked that this guy was still alive after he kind of hit him with guns. It's like Punisher's gone up against many superpowered beings. It's like,
he has. But
I know there's a lot of superpowered guys out there, but when you see a guy that size who's green, shouldn't your first thought be, "Oh shit, is that the Hulk?"
Yeah, exactly. Like instead of like, "Oh, what's this? What's this guy?"
Also, they kind of did an off-panel makeup session because it looked like they were about to fight at one point. And then it goes next panel or next issue, and all he did was flick him, and it didn't show that.
No, I didn't. But I think I still loved it how the Hulk, gave him the finger. I just used one finger this time. Otherwise, you'd still be unconscious if I used two.
There's that great panel. Yeah, he catches that grenade and it explodes in his hand.
Yeah,
you see the smoking fist basically in the Punisher's face. He's like, we need to talk.
Yeah, I know. There's some great hero shots from.
I really like the Hulk in this. I don't know what persona this is called, but I really like this.
Professor Hulk, isn't it?
Yeah, Professor Hulk. Yeah.
He's cool. Yeah, but I thought Professor Hulk, in my dumb knowledge, I thought he was like the shit character that he was in Endgame. Where he's kind of like
no, they made him bad in Endgame. Yeah. Professor Hulk's
he's so much better like this.
Yeah,
no, this is the one you'll see the shot. I mean, Ray knows. They were holding the guns and wearing the bunny slippers. Yeah, that's this guy. Yeah,
Hasta la vista, baby. Oh, how about the Terminator references as well? I love that where he goes through to the guy in the cubicle and he puts his head in. "I'll be back." Like to the police thing. I love how Peter David just loves the pop culture references.
He does.
So,
He does love a pop culture reference. And some people will say, oh, that really dates it. But in fact, if you read his stories, it's part of the fun, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And some people kind of don't realize, probably people that don't read Peter David, is that he's just generally a really funny, a funny, have fun
and
sort of comic.
I honestly, I read back in the 90s and 2000s, he's Young Justice. I honestly, he's one of these guys. I can't remember too many Peter David comics I haven't liked that I've read.
He's
very consistent, high quality. And some guys are consistent at a 6 or a 7. I'd say he's consistent at 8 and above. You know,
that's why
it's tougher. You know,
exactly. That's why he's one of my favorite writers. I think his consistency is really good. And you know what you're going to get, but he still manages to surprise you. Like,
definitely.
There's this one, Dave, you would have read it as well, like through the omnibuses and Phil, of course. But there's this one, it was like a one shot with the Grey Hulk, and it was almost like a horror vibe thing. There was I'm thinking about it vaguely. There was this girl that was being haunted by this like stalker almost.
Oh yeah,
and it was
early in his run,
early in the run, but it was just really like so good, like for just a 25 pages. But that's the stuff that Peter David can do, but he can also do the pop culture referencing, the fun,
and the lost art of the one shot too, Ray, I think, as well, you know.
Exactly. That makes the one shots all the more powerful. You know, you get stories like that.
I love a one shot. I'm one of these guys who thinks that it's just ridiculous when they go, we can't do one shots anymore. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I mean,
because they're always thinking about making the trades now, but I'm like, I wouldn't care about buying a trade where it's like all one shots, or it's like, oh, here's a 2-parter here, a 1 or 2-parter.
Well, I've read trades with one shots that are awesome. So it's like
it's not the end of the world.
In there. Like it's something. Like some of I tell you, my favorite. Everyone knows I'm a Chuck Dixon fan and a Punisher fan. My favorite Chuck Dixon Punisher is a one-shot called The Checkout. It's fantastic. Punisher in a supermarket where they try to rob it.
Oh, yes, I know that one.
Yeah.
The front cover, he's in the aisles looking.
Yeah, so many good Punisher issues, but that's incredible. And it's a one-shot. It's totally contained. And he wrote more than one. So what I'm trying to say is and I've read that in a trade, by the way, as well. It's in an Epic collection. It didn't ruin the collection, life went on,
Quantity is not always quality. You can rate it like a damn good one-shot. Yeah.
Totally, well, I mean, that's the thing as well. And the main, criticism that we have is, for the serial format, is that it's hard for people to jump in on it. If you're trying to get people in and they're jumping in issue 397, but that's like the third part of this arc, it's not as accessible as if you do get, these kind of standalones. Yeah. My recent example was just today. I sat down Finn for the first time to watch a little bit of X-Men 97. Now, I don't know if that's like too bad for someone his age, but we watched a few of the episodes. He's loving it. He loves the X-Men now, so
good.
Mission accomplished.
Oh, hey, did he watch Batman Cape Crusader yet?
No. Haven't
I love it so much.
Is it good? Is it good?
Yeah. It's incredibly good.
Is it like okay, great?
It's a spiritual successor to animated series. And probably not as good, but what I will say is you can tell that really great people are working on it. Like you can see Ed Brubaker's footprint all over it.
It sounds like
issue.
Yeah, it sounds like that vibe you got when you watched X-Men 97, right? It's like a really good spiritual successor.
It's really good.
But it's not a sequel. Yeah, they're steering more into like the 1940s vibes and stuff.
And there's heaps of gunplay. To be fair, it's kind of like more advanced, like they're going a lot darker and stuff. Like it's really good. Like I really like it.
Nice one. Well, look, I just wanted a little point just to finish up on the X-Men thing. Was I got Finn and I, we watched the Mojo episode. And that was like that was a one shot, because that was just like totally separated from the majors, and it just worked. It worked fine. It was fun, so one shots definitely have to still be in there somewhere.
And a great effort by you, Ray, to get him into the X-Men. And I tell you what, my son, my new baby Hayden, doesn't stand a chance. He's been indoctrinated to Batman so early.
I've seen the photos.
He's wearing this Batman. And just today I went down out of storage and pulled out the Batman 66 Blu-rays that I've got. And I've got
Oh.
I've got a little stack of Batman because I've got it all. A lot of it's on Max, but I've also got them on Blu-ray. And I've got the animated, the live action to start him off like where it's nice and kind of fun and happy, and then sequence him into the slightly darker stuff. And it's just like,
That's
happening.
my first exposure to Batman is reruns of Batman 66.
Me too.
66 is awesome. Like, that's how I freaking got introduced to the character as well.
My favorite character.
But you've got to do it, and I think and I'm going to get him a big Batman plush toy and a big Superman plush toy.
Yeah, of course, you got to do it. One of the things, a little proud moment, if I can indulge me just one time as well. So we're watching the X-Men. I'm watching it with Finn. And I'm explaining the characters. He likes Cyclops, and I told him about Bishop. And he goes, what if Cyclops like shoots Bishop and charges him up, and then he shoots? I said, mate, you're talking about one of the episodes. So you got it right on the money. And he was so proud of himself, going,
"Oh, that's good. That's really good."
Like, yeah. So it was really good. I was very happy.
That's very good. That's no, there's so much to and that's smart as well. See, I wouldn't even have thought of that, but that's good. I'm more thinking about the cannibal specials,
Oh yes,
yeah.
get them in, throw them in as well.
And we know there's a second season of that coming soon, isn't there? Or next year, I guess.
It's like second or third season already. Oh, actually, breaking news as well. I don't know if you guys have read. Apparently, they've already greenlit Daredevil season 2, right? Born Again.
Oh, good. Charlie
so
Cox,
so Charlie Cox, D'Onofrio, Deborah Ann Wall, and
did I hear Punisher's back in it?
Yeah, and John Bernthal, he's in it. He's in season 1. Awesome. But they were doing an interview at a con. I can't remember, Phil, somewhere in America. But they confirmed, essentially confirmed that it will be there'll be a season 2.
So. Deborah Ann Wool, Karen Page.
Yeah, there you go.
Love her. Dave. Absolutely love her. Absolutely,
she's very nice. She's
so
and she's I think what is actually extra appealing as well. She's a huge nerd as well.
Yeah, I really like it.
She's on a YouTube channel for gaming as well, of all things. She's a regular guest. She's not like a host, but they invite her on. I'll have to find out for you. I think it's Board Geeks or something like that. But
I'm bored and I'm a geek. I'm bored.
Yeah,
I'm
bored.
Yeah,
board game geeks. Sorry, and they're all like I don't know, they're like nobodies compared to celebrities. And here's Deborah Ann Wall. She comes in and she's like just talking with them about the games. It's like really cool. So
I'm somebody and I'm interested. I remember what Dean Martin said once at a concert. He goes to Frank Sinatra, he's the chairman and I'm bored. Maybe I could say that to her. Sounds great, right?
Yeah. So back to the Hulk issues, of course. Punisher I thought Punisher was really good. At Frost, what did you guys make of Frost? Does he ever pop up again, Phil? I can't even remember. His head
I don't believe so. I think they reveal later on the leader created him, but the character itself, I don't think he ever.
Okay. It was funny when he said, "I'm ahead of my time."
Yeah, when the Hulk rips his head off, he's like, "I'm ahead of my time," and blows up.
Well, I loved it. Like, and these are those little things when the Hulk first meets him. And there's all this kind of bravado, and then you see Hulk just going, "I can't break this guy's grip." Like he's strong, and I thought, this is cool. Like,
because I love when the other thugs attack him. He's not even hitting it. He's just like kind of like backhanding him out of the way. He's like,
that's crazy.
And in the beginning of the second issue when he takes care of Dr. Octopus.
Poor Doc. Doc just wanted to gamble, But my advice to Doc Octopus would have been maybe don't wear your arms intentionally. Like leave them
Are they
at
stuck
home.
to him though? Are they stuck to him? No, they're not.
I don't know.
I don't think at that point, because again, he did swap out because that was they were referencing a Spider-Man story, and he did make adamantium arms.
But they were already adamantium. You're right. But that was funny, and I loved how there was a little jibe in there as well. I think there was a little. I think Hulk said something about like how he's not that smart or something. You know how Doc Ock is always pompous and egocentric. I loved it how the Hulk just said, you idiot.
So
basically,
his arms adamantium.
Those ones were,
because he was talking about beating the Hulk and get adamantium arms. That was like from a Eric Larson Spider-Man story.
Oh, okay.
Cool. They're pretty hard. Yeah.
Speaking of Spider-Man, I'm going to pick up the Michelini I think it's Bagley omnibus that's coming out.
Oh yeah. I
Ooh,
love God. Mark Bagley is my favorite
That's
Spider-Man.
beautiful. It's
yeah, he's
beautiful. It's
fantastic.
beautiful
He's
artwork.
fantastic.
Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't realize because I got into him when I was reading Ultimate Spider-Man. I didn't realize he did all that Spider-Man before. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
He is a
Close
journeyman. Like not journeyman, but he's just like so. His output is amazing.
It's prolific. It's
It's
prolific.
crazy good. He ended up doing actually a little bit of the Hulk as well. I don't know if it was around 2000. I'm going to say 2012 or 13. He did a little bit of a Hulk there. I think it was just called Hulk, like not the Incredible Hulk. About 12 issues. Yeah, it was okay. It was all right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, he's a good artist.
Yeah.
And and again, I always think in terms of Hulk, put him in the hands of a good artist. He's one of the best looking characters. I think an artist can have a really good time drawing the Hulk.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Mark Bagley's done him. I love Mark Bagley's. Dale Keane, of course. Gary Frank, I really enjoy Gary Frank's Hulk. I think he's fantastic. But
Joe
yeah,
Bennett, a good artist who did Hulk.
Oh, Joe Bennett. Oh, yeah, fantastic, awesome. So a lot of good ones. Yeah,
I think he might be a bit of an artist's favorite. You know, there's a lot to like there. I think more of a challenge to write, frankly. I think Peter David does a really good job, but I think personally that he's a challenging character to write. You know,
it would be to kind of to keep it interesting and diverse enough. You know, because you know the premise, the concept of the Hulk is pretty simple, but you know to have Peter David create the other personalities, so to speak, Joe Fixit, you got Professor Hulk, and this is nothing new as well. That was done back in the day as well. They had various Hulk variants too. But yeah, to have that created, what was the other the microverse as well, Phil, that he goes down, he falls in love with this he goes into this micro world. Yeah.
I know it. I've read it. Heart of the Atom is the trade, I believe.
Yeah.
But
So
later,
you know,
but later on during the Peter David run, he goes back there. I mean, she's dead at that point, but that's how we kind of that the whole Joe Fixit in Vegas thing. I mean, they flash back to it; they don't give it to you right away, but these like priests down there put a spell on him so he doesn't turn back the banner for 3 months. That's how he's Joe Fixit in Vegas. So he's been Joe Fixit in Vegas full time for 3 months. Then all of a sudden, Banner wakes up in his bed one day. He's like, "What the hell's going on?" You know, all of a sudden he's in Vegas and
Phil, I'm gonna test your knowledge here as well. I've got his name on the tip of my tongue. Before Dale Keane, I actually really enjoyed the other Hulk artists with Peter David. I'm thinking,
was it Jeff Purves?
Jeff Purves. Yeah, Jeff Purves. Very good.
Yeah.
Dave, I don't know if you've seen him. He does a really good. A lot of the Hulks. Like Dale Keane does a very iconic Hulk, right? Very different in that he's very kind of round and really thick set, you know. Jeff Purves does a great Hulk as well. He does like the really heavy brow, like the frontal brow, and like the little pug nose. So you get a lot of really good artists. I mean, he's not in the league of Dale Keane, but he did a very indelible run. With Peter David, so
I'll definitely check it out. You know,
but just don't expect Dale Keane, but like he's very good.
Look, I also think I own quite a few sort of figurines and statues of the Hulk, and I just think visually he's just a great sell. Like you can just like him visually, just the sheer physical, powerful presence of him can be enough. You don't need all the backstory in the world for the Hulk. I think the lamest Hulk was that version they did in Endgame. I really hated that.
Yeah, they did the Hulk dirty. Yeah.
They neutered the Hulk for reasons unknown. Although speaking of Hulk, at D23 there were scenes revealed of Red Hulk.
I saw it on YouTube.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
There's only like
the only thing
seconds
that's got me interested for the movie, I've got to say, my interest in Sam Wilson, Captain America, is almost zero. But you throw in Harrison Ford with Red Hulk, suddenly I'm interested. You know,
I'm interested in that, and also, was it William Blake Nelson as the leader?
I am interested.
He looks. I can't wait for. He's a great actor. He's a fantastic.
If Red Hulk's going to be in it, surely there's a chance normal Hulk will turn up.
Yeah, I think Sam Mackie. What's his name? Sam Mackie. Is that his name?
Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie. Sorry, Sam Wilson. Anthony Mackie. I think Anthony Mackie apparently let it slip. There was an article where they said they let it slip that actually the Green Hulk.
Let it slip because they need the box office too. Because, let me tell you, otherwise this movie could be in trouble. No, I'm actually I'll be paying a ticket to go see it. But if Harrison Ford wasn't involved with Red Hulk, I don't know if I would have made the journey.
I mean, you know me. I'll be seeing it for the Hulks for sure. Yeah. And it looks like if they're saying it's going to be kind of like Winter Soldier, where it's kind of like really grounded spy level kind of stuff. I'm in for that. You know,
me too.
But Harrison Ford and the Hulks and the leader, absolutely. Yeah. I want to see the leader really cause
Bring
trouble.
it on. So. Bring it on, guys.
I just hope he doesn't die. I hope the leader doesn't die at the end. That's all.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if it's an end credit scene or what, but I think they said there's going to be stuff leading in the Thunderbolts, which
Thunderbolts
will be the movie after that. Yeah,
that makes sense.
My Thunderbolts excitement's sitting. Let me check. Oh, negative. It's in the negative.
I thought you were interested in it, Dave. For me, it has. I'm not interested at all. But like, I'll go.
You know who you're talking to? You're talking to Two-Face. I just flick a coin, and that's how I feel about things. I'm that fickle.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish they could do more of a classic Thunderbolts. You know, like I'm like, well, they at least have Zemo. Why isn't Zemo in there as Citizen or something?
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, but instead, it's just all the reject pile of all the fucking people who've been through.
Yeah, I was a little bit.
It's going to be their version of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. I was a little bit disappointed in the lineup.
Seinfeld, and we're supposed to be excited.
I'm glad Ghost. Yeah, I'm glad Ghost is in there, but I just think like, White Widow, Winter Soldier.
I'm not glad Ghost is in there. I'm not glad Ghost is in there. I'm not glad White Widow's in there. I'm not glad about anyone being in there. You know, at all.
What I just want them to. I thought it was good for them to draw like from somewhere you don't expect, similar to like how the leaders come back all of a sudden.
Sure.
So yeah, and also what's his name? Wyatt Russell, U.S. agent.
Oh yeah,
like U.S. agent, the character, but
that's
like
the one character in that whole thing where I'm like, okay, interested. You know, but their version of U.S. agent won't be as good as the version in the comics.
No, and they need.
But they robbed us of that classic Thunderbolts run. I mean, come on, they robbed us of Sydney Sweeney as Moonstone. Come on,
Moonstone, jeez,
bring it on, Phil. Bring it on. I don't even know who Moonstone is, but I'm excited that Phil's mentioning.
Have a look what she wears, Dave. I'm pretty sure you'll be excited.
I'm very excited already. I'm excited before I even know. This is how hungry I am and thirsty.
You know, just without sounding too geeky though, as well. Like it just lacks. I think the Thunderbolts lacks like some superpowered, superpowered beings. They're all kind of the samey. So,
Ray, I don't think on a show like this you need to apologize for being too geeky. As we're into the second hour, and it's like, you know, we mentioned Moonstone. I think we can assume that the audience is pretty comfortable.
Yeah, fair
enough. She looks good. I'd like to see Sydney Sweeney as this character.
Yeah, man. Moonstone, man. Come on.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, that's one of the images.
That's the one Dave's looking at.
Actually,
desktop paper. Wallpaper now.
I was going to say, before this show, I've been on a big Superman binge, and I was reading about the Parasite, and then I read that I was reading pre-crisis, but I read post-crisis Parasite was created by John Ostrander. I went and checked out those issues. Can I tell you, John Ostrander writes a mean Firestorm, and I do not care about Firestorm. You know, like he really does. Like I'll say this for the record. I love it when a writer paired with an artist can write a character I do not care about. And Firestorm is one. And you read it and you're like, I'm really interested. Another example would be when Chuck Dixon did Connor Hawke Green Arrow. Now, I do not care about Connor Hawke as Green Arrow, but his run is so good. You know, and actually, I wasn't a huge Nightwing fan until I read Chuck's run. A good writer can make you care about characters that you honestly did not care about. And I think that's a real asset, you know. And Firestorm, I couldn't care less about Firestorm. I'm 2 issues into John Ostrander's Firestorm. Like, gee, I wonder what happens. Like,
no, that's good. That's good. It's got you invested. Like, it's great. Yeah, that's what I really appreciate as well about.
So I wanted to make that comment to the Globe. That was my, you know, that was. Well,
it's just kind of. It just goes to show as well, like, just you don't have to be comfortable with the characters that you love. You know, just go for because when I was young as well, it was all about the characters, and then in the 90s, it was about the artists because Jim Lee, you know, the big artists were. But like as I got older as well, it's gone transcended beyond characters, and it's about the writers now. What's
True.
good? Yeah.
I mean, look, if that's true, I still will always give a chance to a new Batman writer.
No,
and a
absolutely.
Punisher, like,
Yeah,
but you are right. No, you are right. Basically, as time wore on and I got a bit more savvy, I started to follow more the creators. From project to project, and sometimes like they're not everything they light up turns great, but there's certain writers, and Peter David is one who they bring their quality with them. And we mentioned people like Peter David, Chuck Dixon, John Ostrander. Like these guys have proven. Like I've read John Ostrander's a lot of his Star Wars stuff. Now I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, and I'm certainly not Star Wars Legacy fan. It's an incredible run. Okay. You know, Richard said, read the Star Wars Legacy. It's like 200 years after Return of the Jedi. And I'm like, Rich, I'm out, man. I am so out of this. Yeah. And then I read it. I'm like, this is great. It just shows you a good team. He was paired with a really good artist, Jen Duursema. And there should be more of that in comics. Instead, I'm reading Superman. I'm going, man, I wish the art was better. You know?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You know?
It's somehow, you in some ways, you kind of like look at those sorts of scenarios, and it's those writers that actually are earning their coin, you know, because they're actually making you think about, oh, maybe I should follow a bit more about Firestorm. You know, they're actually generating more interest for you.
A bit of buzz. So it means that Firestorm, who I'm, I guarantee he's still around somewhere. There's actually a library of Firestorm that they could draw on if they wanted to for something. Yeah. You know, someone wrote some decent Firestorm ones, you know?
Oh yeah.
I just remember him from Super Friends. It was like an introducing Firestorm, and I was
I remember him from that as well.
As a kid, he was for years. I'm like, oh, it's the new guy. Okay, yeah.
No, James put it down. I like Firestorm, and I think it's because of the Ostrander stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. Like, it just goes to show.
Okay. Can I say on the other side of the coin, in like 6 more issues or so, Lilith and I are literally going to have a party on camera for Zeb Wells' last issue that he's going to.
You're going to have a party.
Oh, party hats, streamers, the whole effing thing, Ray. Oh yeah,
you're lovely. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Zeb Wells, underwhelming. You know, underwhelming.
Yeah, I'm still far behind, but I'm still reading it.
Oh, hey, Ray, his last arc is going to be Tombstone, though. So,
what nice. Well, Tombstone's been featured still.
I know,
way behind. Which is
he saved it up for Ray.
Lovely. Tombstone, he's awesome. Yeah,
Tombstone is cool. Yeah, Zeb Wells Spider-Man is not cool.
No.
I'm giving
possible.
I'm giving Hulk 8.5 out of 10. The 2 issues.
Yeah.
8.5 out of 10.
I'll jump on that wagon as well. I think it's very strong. It may not be everyone's cup of tea. Like people who like listen to this and then they go read it, going, "What was so great about it?" You just got to learn to sit back and enjoy the ride.
Take a look in the mirror. Those people should take a good hard look in the mirror and think about things.
Yeah, but I mean, just the way that Peter David condenses. I'm talking about two issues, how he condenses stuff. He's got side stories. He's got, your highs and lows. He gets to exposition about all these characters, and include the Punisher in there. It's just masterful writing. So, yeah.
As a Punisher fan, I can say it's a very competently done Punisher. Punisher is Punisher.
Yeah, exactly.
Which again is really good considering Peter David even admits he's like, Punisher's not my guy. Yeah.
I mean, just if that's how he writes a character he's not comfortable with, far out. Well,
So Ray's review is
shut up and just lay there.
Exactly.
Phil, where are you? Where's your score, Phil?
Oh, I'll make it a clean sweep here. 8.5.
Yeah, very strong.
I thought he did.
And I mean, and we've been learning about Dalkey and art. You put those two together. Holy moly, you're talking great stuff. So
you just printed money.
I love that.
I'm glad.
I love that scene in the beginning where he's like smacking the thugs on his side, and Ulysses and the other guy and Hector are standing there. He's like, "Why are we here again?"
Window dressing.
It was funny that they're the strong guys, like in the background.
Yeah. Also, as well, just a little thing there. I thought the sting at the end was good because again, it showcases the Hulk not just about brute force. This was Professor Hulk's idea, the plan at the end of 395, and they set up. I can't even remember the guy's name, the blonde guy's name.
Hector. Or no.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, the
Baddie.
antagonist. Yeah.
Striker or whatever. Yeah.
Striker.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
Well
set
done,
him
Phil.
up, and then the police come out. I thought that was brilliant because it was a nice setup. It was good. Yeah,
I love that. I love that woman cop at the end. Wait a minute, don't I know you know? And then the Punisher.
He's gone.
Wait, it's the Punisher.
Punisher got out of there. Oh, I will say it was interesting to me that he was driving an ice cream van, not his normal battle van. I did think that actually.
Yeah, true.
Where was Micro? Nowhere. Micro didn't make it to Vegas.
In the Garth Ennis run, no head, no face left.
Hey, Ray, don't go there, my friend.
No, I know. I hate it too, Dave. That was one of the most sickening things.
I'm a huge Garth Ennis fan, but I do not approve.
Yeah, I didn't like it as well. No, I hate it.
I actually remember. I flashback to whenever that was in time. I read that. I got my comic and I threw it across the room when it happened. I remember reading it. Yeah,
sickening. It's sickening. It was sickening. Yeah.
My reaction was not. I wasn't happy.
Yeah. No, it was terrible.
It did take place in a kind of like not the regular.
True.
True.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I could say about it.
That's how I see it. Yeah. Exactly.
Would have been good to have Micro in the van though as well, but maybe there was a few too many faces to include Micro.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, Frank's working with the Hulk. I mean, it's like you have your backup.
Yeah,
exactly.
True.
You don't need.
And don't forget, Dave, this isn't the Punisher actual comic. Punisher's his guest.
It's okay. It's all right.
But I do like Peter David did throw like the beginning of the second issue. After Hulk takes care of Doc Ock, and he's like just sitting there tied up in his arms. Frank Castle's just thinking. I think he's thinking about killing Doc Ock. He's like, how often do I get him gift wrapped?
Yeah. I love that. And the Hulk's like, no, don't. I'm not going to sit here watch you just do that. So
exactly. Yeah. Frank was certainly thinking about it for sure. It was going through his mind. Yeah, he does enjoy a bit of casual death. I think Stiltman found out the hard way. If I'm recalling, Stiltman may have copped it in a Frank's barrel one time.
Jeez.
Yeah. But anyway, I mean, Capes International, we're just cruising and just.
It's awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
You listeners, you've learned a lot through this 1 hour. Not only about the comics, but everything else.
The
funky kangaroo.
The proud tradition of the Olympics. Yes.
Oh my god. Yeah.
That's what That's the hey. When they were created in ancient Greece, I guess they were hoping one day someone at Ray Gunn would pull something out.
Something special. This is elite athletes we're talking about. Elite athletes. Anyway,
best of the best. So I was gonna say next time though, what you guys? What do you think? Should we do some Joe Fix-It? Do you want to do some Punisher?
I'll happily do whatever you want. If you want to do Joe Fix-It, let's do Joe Fix-It. So it's me.
Can we do like just a Punisher one-off or something? I feel like Punisher now. I'd love Joe Fix-It, and maybe after that we can do Joe Fix-It.
But that's we can jump around all the time.
These two issues wet my whistle for a bit more Punisher.
Punisher, right? Yeah,
for
sure.
Punisher.
Yeah. Make sure Dave's okay with we're doing some Punisher.
Yeah. Hey, why don't you do? I've got a suggestion.
Okay.
Why don't you do the Mike Barron? I think it's 2-parter called Social Studies, where he goes to the school as a substitute teacher. I think it's
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Can we do that?
I'll find the issues numbers for you. If I'm remembering correctly, I think it might be about issues 13 and 14, but I'll find that out.
Wow.
Okay.
Frank the academic.
It's so good. It's so good. Wilsh Patachio on art.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I've been down to do some Punisher, like some straight up Punisher with Dave. Yeah,
and Wills as well. Patachio. Freaking hell. That's going to be great.
Do it. Yeah, it's great stuff. Yeah. Oh, I've bored Mike Barron with my questions about those issues on every occasion. He's had to like grind out answers for years. Yeah, and he's a great man too, Mike Barron. Love him. So yeah,
nice.
It'd be great. All right. Well, I think we've got a date, guys.
But so we got a mission for next time. So yeah, kids. So yeah, just send it. You can send in your feedback for that, and Dave will tell you how wrong you are.
Probably.
Yeah, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or the voicemail 614-382-2737. And again, find episodes, social media, merchandise. I think I'm gonna throw the Capes International logo up in the
do it.
Maybe shirts.
I'm gonna go get it. Yeah.
Ray's gonna be like, look, it's me, it's mine. Look, I'm on it. Yeah. So, and then of course, subscribe to our Patreon. But yeah, patreon.com/CapesandLunatics and tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics podcast networks where you find everything. So, all right.
Brilliant.
All right. Now for that quiet gentleman, Mr. Dave Finn, where can people find you in Signal of Doom?
Well, you can find me half dead in my office, but also you can find me at Signal of Doom. We're broadcasting weekly. We've got a lot of big stuff coming out. Just recently, we delved deeply into the link between Sammy Davis Jr. and Satanism. That was a topic of this week's conversation. We go deep. It got real deep, and that's just one factor that you're dealing with on Signal of Doom. We keep you up to date with Frank Sinatra, Bob Dylan, and what's happening in the comic book and movie world. Probably the greatest show on the internet. I'm being modest when I say that. But thank you for having me, Phil. And just check out Signal of Doom, guys.
Always a great time, Dave. All right, now for this. The High Priest of Khonshu,
here he is.
Yes,
the hard master himself.
The hard Hook Tour. You can catch me on at Ray Pod. Just on social media. It's all good. Still Into the Night is still going. It's just less frequent now, but we're still doing still doing the latest and greatest issues. To Know Her is to Fear Her. We are still around. It has been pretty quiet as well. Saren has been away on business. So hopefully we can reconvene and continue where we left off. I believe the Stephen Fox run is wrapping up. Also, Predator and Prey. There's an episode coming out very soon. We go through one of the Dark Horse stories, Rite of Passage, which was really fun to do. It was a silent issue, so there wasn't much there to really chat about.
Isn't Black Panther and Predator? Black Panther versus Predator coming soon here?
That's coming soon. So this is in the lead up to it. It's kind of set in an African tribe, and the Predator comes.
Is that a modern day issue, Ray?
No, it was a Dark Horse issue. So we
have
did
you ever read the one? There's a really good silent issue where predators go down to the alien world and they fight aliens as like an initiation. It's a silent issue as well. It's really good. Yeah, it's really good. It's not super long. It's only like 10 or 20 pages.
Well, this one wasn't as well. This was 15, 20 pages. It was like pretty short. But no, it's good. So catch us up on there. And also Ray plays games. Still playing games. One-handed. I got a troll the other day. I showed you, Dave. Didn't understand the notion of solo. I'm playing by myself, so that is solo to me. I just want to say, and the official terms are true solo when you play one hand, and two-handed solo. So you can tell from the name that it says solo that it is solo. This person didn't understand that and gave me grief about me misleading them by saying it's solo when I played actually 2 card decks. Buddy, it's solo.
It's pretty funny.
Okay, I don't know what else to say.
You said it to me and I was just laughing because this guy was like, he had a screw loose, I think.
I don't know what else to say. Anyway, there you go. Thank you.
Do you want me to put a hit out on him, Ray?
No, please do. Please do.
See, he's been cutting back on podcasting. It is hard to podcast when you always have a deck in your hand, right, Ray?
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure Ray's like Gambit in Deadpool, just constantly shuffling cards.
That's We'll charge the cards. Charge the cards.
And kids, right into that Predator and Prey, and demand that they do a crossover with us. That Batman Predator.
Of course, yes, we shall.
I've been hearing that for at least a year. Okay.
Lots of promises.
I know. All right, so that was a good first episode. Well, second episode, but yes, that was a good showing of what you'll get at Capes International.
Bit of a taste. Wet the whistle.
Next up, Punisher.
Yes.
Cannot wait.
Was it social justice?
Look, I'm struggling. School studies or something.
School
like
study,
that.
Social studies.
Something like that.
Next time, kid.